Okay, I'm here.
Okay, so I guess you can just come on AOC pretty much while we
All
talk
right.
and just like host. Okay, so you did a coaching session with the AOC coach guy. Okay, that's fine. So you're a chess player, so I will probably just try to like put out yeah, how like chess explanations. It's probably much simpler by then. Okay, so like yeah, as we already talked in the chat, I disagree with this build order method that a lot of people use because like I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's not right either, and it's not as effective as learning the basic fundamentals because a lot of people who do certain build orders, just like the same build order every game, right? It is good for
Yeah.
climbing, but it's not good for improving because it locks you in, in this one cycle, and you do like those things that you do, your Josh Fast Castle, whatever you do, right? And it like blocks you from actually understanding the game, like, sure, if you would, for example, like, if I would, for example, boost somebody to 2K HD, right? Just like, one sec. Just like, let's just put a scenario. Some 15x HD guy wants me to boost him to 2K HD, right? It would probably take me, a few hours, and I would probably be doing, I don't know, monkish every game, right? Just because, like, just straight up because I'm Evo boosting. It doesn't matter. I just want to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't understand that, like, it's not the same as improving. And what usually happens because of this, like, I have some people who, for example, wanted me to coach them, right? And when we started talking, he was saying how he knows how to do one certain thing. And when I asked him to show me it, like he knows how it should happen, but
Mm-hmm.
how he did it was, like so far from how it should happen, right? Because like he only knew how to do, that exact thing, right? And the basic fundamentals like warring a boar, microing your wood villagers, your sheep villagers, all that shit, right? He didn't have
Yeah.
it because he tried to go over the first two steps of improving and just straight up jumping to step four. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
So like I think there's a lot of like people that try to make monkeys essentially out of the people, where it's like you try to copy what the person does, but the biggest problem is if you don't have the timing correctly, then it's not as effective when you're doing these certain build orders and stuff.
Yes.
And and the problem is that what I'm like, for example, I had a lesson 2 days ago. I go to implement a scout rush strategy backed by archers and then cav archers, and the problem is I executed it about 2 minutes later than I should with my times, but then I'm still in a position to win, and I can't execute the win because the guy builds a castle and I can't take down his castle. I micro terribly the
Mm-hmm.
armies,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I still don't even know like the counters to each unit. Like it's not like something that's natural to me. Like I don't think in terms of like this unit has +2. Like I noticed one little thing where it was like you were attacking the tower and you're like, these knights have +2 or whatever that means, and you knew that that shouldn't defeat those knights essentially. So
Yeah.
you had no problem going to this. And those little things of understanding the what I would call the tactics. Another thing that I want to say too is that AoE players oftentimes describe things as tactics, where that's not really what I. There's strategy and tactics, and build order is a strategy. And in chess, you can't really do strategies. That's more for players who understand the game better, But
Yeah.
instead, what we do is we teach players in chess. We teach them tactics, which is like, okay, you take this piece, then you take that piece, and then you win the game, and you beat a lower rated player because that's how you beat them, you know. I think this coach who tried to get me to memorize from beginning to end. I made a fucking list of 30 things. I'm looking at it right now. He wanted me to memorize 30 different things in the strategy, right?
Yeah.
But that's overwhelming to a player like me who started like 3 months
Exactly,
ago.
exactly. And that makes no sense. And that is the issue which I already, like, I wanted to make a video about it, but a lot of people are ranting me because they think that I'm wrong, you know? Like, a lot of
Yeah.
people disagree with what I'm trying to do here. And the problem with that is a lot of people don't understand what coaching is. Like, for
Do you know?
example, right? Like, for
Yeah, go ahead.
example, a guy who doesn't know how a knight in chess is supposed to move, right? And you want
Yeah.
to teach him, how to do the. I don't remember the correct names, but the openings. There are a lot of
The
openings.
Latvian gambit. The Latvian. So a guy that doesn't know how the knight moves properly, you wouldn't teach him the Latvian gambit.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's just wrong. First of all, the main reason is wrong. You can end there, but you can go further. Because, like, for
Yeah.
example, if you take a strategy, right, that is completely overpowered, right? For example, okay, a bad player will make the overpowered strategy okay, right? And he will
Hmm.
climb just because the strategy is, broken. It's overpowered. But a pro player will make the strategy overpowered, and that is the thing that, like, the gap between like the potential of a build order, of a strategy, of all this bullshit, right? That a lot of people try to, like, try to, like, throw into new players, and, like, I don't understand why do they do that, right? Because it
Let me
just
give
makes
you
no
let,
sense.
let me give you one last analogy. The most popular selling books in chess are opening books because players, like a lot of weak chess players, like to think that they have some sort of advantage memorizing the opening
Exactly,
moves. But
exactly.
in games, by starting from the basic and the end, all the Russian chess grandmaster schools, they taught you from the end backwards, and you would
Yeah,
start with just a few pieces. You would master those in games and then build the blocks of learning based upon that. And it wasn't until in Russia you wouldn't study chess openings until you became like a master. But in America, we do things different. We because of the culture and stuff. The players oftentimes start at the opening first, and they get stuck at a certain level basically. So, anyways, that's enough about chess. That's just my background and where I
no,
bring to it.
I actually love this, dude. This is the
Yeah,
best thing ever, because, like, you are an intelligent person and you get what I'm trying to say, and it
yeah,
helps me because I understand that you are understanding it, and you know what I mean. Because,
yeah.
like, for example, like, I'm not saying. I mean, his method is bad, but since he's like 2K Woobly, if I even post something, I'm just gonna get bashed by his 2K friends, right? So I obviously can't say shit about him because obviously he's better than me, right? And the problem with people again is they think that, like, if you're better in game, it must be that you understand the game better, and that's also wrong because, like, AOC requires speed and it requires, chess-wise strategies. And, like, for example, like, he tried to teach you scouting archer, right? But
Yeah.
why? I mean, like, for example, why start with that? Why start with something that's really hard to do? Plus, Han scouts into archers is, like, only good for, like, certain civilizations. Plus in 1v1. I mean, obviously there goes the question, and this is what I'm gonna ask you, and I ask everybody I coach. What is exactly what you want to learn? I mean, the map, the, like, 1v1 or team games, or AB or arena and something like that.
Well, let me say this. I started the game with a friend, and he beats me every time, and he's much better. He's had the game since '99, and I told him from the very beginning. I said, "Listen, it's not about me versus you. For me itself, it's about me versus me." And the way that I approach things is that I try to learn, basically. So my goal with coaching, and I love the game of Age of Empires because I see that there's a lot to learn from it, basically.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and the problem is I've been searching, but there's no real material. And to answer your thing about the people will disrespect you if you question a 2,000 player, see, you're a teacher. I can already tell that. There's a difference between teaching and doing. Okay. So oftentimes the best doers are not the best teachers, and they don't recognize that, and what might work for that 2K player at that moment has no relevance whatsoever of having to teach a complete noob such as myself, basically. Um, so I think the game is filled with a lot of doers, but not a lot of teachers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and like the thing is that the problem is that, like, for example, like these guys, for example, they give you something, they teach you a little thing, and then when you actually start to do something, right, when you actually like want to try to live on your own, you just drown,
Yeah,
because without him you cannot do anything. And what happens, especially in like bigger mobile games like League of Legends, even CS:GO, stuff like that. What happens? You keep going for the coach, the after and after and after and after, and he just takes more money out of you, takes more money out of your pocket. You know what
yeah.
I mean? And that is actually a common strategy that a lot of people do who want to rig people and earn more money from them. I'm not saying everybody in particular. I've just read a
Yeah,
post about that,
for the
especially in
record
League
too,
of Legends.
I don't think this guy's trying to scam me. I
No,
honestly
he
don't.
no, he's not trying to scam you. Obviously,
Yeah,
no, he just
yeah.
doesn't.
I just think that he's not necessarily a teacher per se, and more importantly, it's not his fault. I think the industry, even like Zero Empires, Residents, yeah, Residents, all
Resonance,
these
yeah, I know
guys,
what you mean.
they're all very popular. But even from their educational quote unquote stuff, it's not like it's producing tons of great players, basically. You
Yeah,
know,
of
um,
course. I mean, of course. Resonance is barely 17x in HD himself.
Yeah. So, anyways, well, I guess that's enough background.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess the
okay,
point
yeah.
is, so let me ask this one last thing too. So in chess, what we would do is we would train tactics. So you would study
Mm-hmm.
checkmates in one, two, and three, and
Yeah,
you would
yeah.
learn how to visualize ahead, and those tactics could be immediately implemented in the game. One of the things I looked for when I first got into this game was I was like, okay, are there mods where you can practice battles, where
Yeah,
you work
yeah.
on countering units and learning how to master the fighting. And what's different is that Age of Empires, you spent so much time working on your economy, okay?
Yeah.
But then you get into these battles, and it's like the execution of the fighting for myself, right, is
Mm-hmm.
very weak.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
like the way that I attack castles or use my units and stuff like that. And I'm using hotkeys, maybe not the best I should, but the point being is that um, are there mods that train specific tactics in Age of Empires? Does that make sense?
That makes sense, right? And like the problem is that there are like you can maybe check in this in
I
Steam
couldn't find any.
Workshop. Yeah, you probably wouldn't. Like since I started, this whole coaching stuff, I'm actually working on a few maps, to make these, like to make these drills. You know what I mean? Like these drills
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
yeah,
Drills. That's what it's about.
yeah,
Yes.
exactly. I'm making those maps, they're still a work in progress. They will
Mm.
probably be finished, I'm just like trying to figure out a few things as well. But I am making these because I know that there are not a lot of them, and I actually want, to like make those and, make them work. You know what I mean? And
Let me give you a scenario. For example, let's say that you're down a thousand points in
mm-hmm.
an imperial battle, and you
Yeah,
have to defend a castle. You have to defend yourself in this slight, disadvantage,
yeah,
basically in the
yeah,
end game, as I would say,
yeah,
and you can't practice that in Age of Empires basically until you actually like get to that moment.
Mhm.
Whereas if
Mhm.
there was modules that set that
Yeah,
up,
yeah, I
you
know
could
what you
just
mean.
practice that a
I know what you
hundred
mean.
times and then you could master that tactic
Yeah,
basically.
I know what you mean. It's like you just start on like move 37, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
In chess. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I've practiced those myself. Like I'm obviously not on a level on chess. I just play it for fun. I just like the whole idea of chess as a game and as a reflectant for for example, Age of Empires. Okay,
Yeah.
like the thing is, yeah, that is why like there are these few questions. I probably should just create a quiz. Typically, like the main things that like you want to do is like, is it you want to practice 1v1, team games, arena, Arabia, Megarand, like what is your thing? What is your thing?
Well, I've been trying. One of the reasons why my rating went from 17 down to 15 is because I realized that I wasn't becoming a better player. I was just like being a monkey, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so if you could help me with the topic that we're talking about, teach me how to think in the game.
Yeah.
Maybe we don't have to work on, like we just don't care about the opening, the build or something like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
If you have an idea of how we could work on as we talking about thinking in the game, the problems that you're faced,
Yeah. Yeah.
and what are the solutions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
It's
understand. Yeah, I understand. Mm-hmm. Well,
um
like after we finish, I'm gonna give you my YouTube channel. There's like one video where I coach the 17x guy. I think it's quite an okay video. There aren't a lot of videos there. There's like only one at the moment. There probably will be more in the future.
I watched it. I watched it. I
Ah,
thought it was good.
did
That's
you watched it? Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's how I found out about you.
Okay, I see, I see. That's good, yeah. Because, like, for example, I mean, that wasn't perfect as well because I'm a little bit new to the whole Age of Empire coaching concept. But, like, for example, there was another guy, it's not on YouTube, but he was like 16x, right? And he was showing me his, like, this scout build, right? I
Hmm.
was just, watching and trying to see what we need to work on, and his Dark Age was horrible, right? So he
Hmm.
tries to pull off this, really hard to pull off scout build, and his Dark Age is horrible, you know?
Yeah.
And like that is again the reverse engineering because like
Yes.
it just like hello. But the difference between like if you take for example just in Age of Empires, in Age of Empires you need to start from the bottom. You need to start from the core. You need to start from the Dark Age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
example, I made a drill for that 16th guy. I told him to practice fast castle build or on arena, right?
Hmm.
Like even versus AI, it doesn't matter. Like if you want to lose rating, go play everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like because fast castle is the core of the game, right?
By
Because
the way, did you know that Zero Empires created a mod for fast castling? It's the only good simulator
yes,
that I
yes,
found.
yes.
And what I did is I practiced that like maybe 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
it made me a better player for sure. So it's kind of similar to what you're talking about right now.
yeah, because
Uh,
no, like the thing is, it's hard for me. Like we will go into game because I need to see how you play, right? I'm just like
yeah,
speculating now because I don't know your issues and I will see them in game. And when I
yeah,
watch, I take notes and then we go over all the stuff. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
so I mean, you can just like host a 1v1 around your rating,
Okay, yeah.
whatever. I
I'm
mean,
gonna do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
just remember to tick in allow spectators, and then we can go
Oh, okay.
over.
Yeah, allow spectators.
Yeah, and then we can go over more things because now I'm just speculating. It's whatever, I guess. Okay. I'm
And you can
see.
see my rating is pathetic. You can laugh at me. I'm a terrible player, objective. But
Okay.
I'm not lying. I did get to 1700 doing fast imp and arena.
Well, I
And
mean, you can. Uh,
but I would get people most of the people that I would play would not even expect it,
Yeah,
and I would
because
go,
of obviously, I mean, even 2Ks wouldn't expect it. You know, like
yeah,
another issue, like there was this guy coach. He was let me just say, but he was this rating, right?
yeah,
We had a one session, like I don't know, a few days later he was this rating, right? So like he
yeah,
just climbed 100 rating, right? We had
yeah,
another session. I mean, obviously he still lagged, but he was already getting better. And
yeah,
like I teached him how to do a rush fast castle because he was
yeah.
doing a feudal aggression, and I said to him that feudal aggression will not get you anywhere because the rush fast castle, like it will build you the core fundamentals a lot better than the flush, And like I mean, it's fine. It's just that, like, I mean, obviously, I just need to see under in game, and that will tell me a lot. But yeah, I mean, there's a difference if you want to be a Arabia player or arena player. You know what I mean? If you want to be
Exactly.
both, that's completely fine. If you want to be both, though, we will probably have to start with arena anyway because I need you to learn how to do a perfect drush,
Oh,
a
okay. So,
perfect dark age. My bad.
okay, okay. So
You
we'll
know,
start with arena.
no, I mean you can, yeah, start arena because like you know
By the way, so another thing that's really affected my rating too as well. But I mean, what is this fucking rating? It doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't mean
yeah,
anything. But
rating is
the point is
meaningless on
that
HD.
when you switch between different strategies, that's when it shows your real skill. So I can already tell the really good players, they can play all the different types of variations,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
And then you don't know what to expect. Maybe based upon the sieve, they might do something, right?
mhm.
Okay, here's a here's a guy
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
fine.
So,
I mean, you probably want to put size small two
yeah.
players.
Oh, Smice. Oh, okay.
Yeah, two players. You probably want to take mirror sieve as well.
Oh, Marisev. Okay,
Yeah, it's just
interesting. He's asking, is it
don't tell that guy anything. Just don't tell him anything. It's like
okay? He's a Twitch guy. Yeah. Okay.
okay, like oh man.
Maybe kick this guy out or what?
I don't know, like like ask which of them wanna play and then kick the other one.
Yeah.
Well, or
I'm gonna
tell
still.
walk in the first one to walk. Okay, yeah, that works well. Is that one? Yes.
Yes.
Okay, like for example, what I tried to teach the last guy, and you probably have a similar concept for this. Like we just pretty much stopped mid game, and we just out the ford, you know. We just out the ford because there was like no actual reason for us to watch this game.
Japanese. I've never played the Japanese once in my life.
They're basic. Okay, so let's see.
Okay. All right. So I'm doing the standard two houses.
Yeah, that's basic.
Are they a gunpowder sieve, by the way?
Archers, champions helps pretty much everything. I mean, that doesn't matter to you anyway. It's fine, just whatever. Yeah, watching already,
Where
I
are
can
they?
tell we are going to need to start at the very bottom. No, I mean it's fine. It's completely fine
Yeah.
because like
Where are these sheep at, bro? Holy shit.
the reason I don't use your scout, not your villager more. I mean, okay,
There we
we can.
are. Okay.
When you stop creating villagers, just get womb or something right off the bat. It's fine. Like for example, that's why the requirement usually is like 1,650 plus. Like because I
Yeah.
don't really like teaching the basics, but since you're like a chess player, obviously you have much better ability to swallow information that I throw at you.
Hmm.
Which is also really good because there are people who process information really like slow, and it it's really hard, and it also requires another way of thinking.
By the way, I would say about the chess thing is like, I'm not like a genius or anything, but
No, yeah, but
one thing I've done in life is that I just work hard. Like so, with Age of Empires, immediately when
Mm-hmm.
I started playing, I'm like, all right, let's get fucking serious. If I'm gonna
Well,
do
yeah,
something,
if you want to get serious, yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Well, no. The point being is, if I'm gonna do it, I want to be good at it. That's just my
exact.
personality.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean.
By the way, I've never talked while I play too, so
It's
this could be
okay.
a whole new.
Just play. Just don't focus on
Okay.
playing. Talking goes
Okay. Cool.
second.
And I'm already thinking. Okay. So you know
It's
what?
okay.
What am I doing, man? I'm completely fucking up. All right. Man, I'm all over the place.
You most certainly are. No, I mean it's fine. Mm,
Alright.
I just hope you're ready that we will probably resign this game at about minute 10. No, I'm not joking. It's just that obviously there are things that we need and things we don't need. Okay. This is going to be fun. It's fine, just play. It's okay. We're probably gonna end it at around 10 minutes. That's enough information. Yeah, it might sound like a stupid question, but did you do the Age of Empires tutorial?
No.
Okay, so I mean, it's really shit, but if you have time, do like the first. You cannot do the last and the one before the last.
Oh, you mean the campaigns?
The like there's like you click tutorial and there are like 6 games or something.
Okay.
Because like uh, they are not good, but they're not bad. Like they're gonna help you a bit. I mean, it might sound stupid, but honestly, when you have the free time, just do them all. I mean, they will seem kind of boring, but honestly, they will explain
No,
basic
no,
things.
I've actually done some of them. I just
Okay.
call them the campaigns or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they are like kind of campaigns.
Um, so yeah, I'm completely. By the way, I'm just. I promise you, man. I probably everybody says I do better or whatever, but this whole thing is.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I just want to see what I'm dealing with. Because, like, I mean, yeah, okay. Let's see. You're only 5 villagers behind, by the way. So, you know, not the end of the world. Let's see
That's
how
it.
your
There's
friend is
5.
doing. Your friend is like 2 villagers behind. Maybe 3ish.
Oh, okay.
If you.
Okay. You know what? Just gonna keep up with the randomness here and just fucking.
Okay, so we're gonna stop this game at 11 minutes. So you have 1 minute.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, like you can continue, but there's honestly no point. It's just gonna be time waste for you and for me.
Okay.
So it's fine. Yeah. Ah, fuck. I honestly need to make those custom maps. They're gonna be so good.
You just want to stop it now? I can resign the game and then we can talk about whatever if you want.
I
You want to do?
mean, we can
I'm
stop
perfectly
it.
fine with
Yeah,
that.
it's
Okay.
fine. You can just resign. It's fine. Just write GG and resign. Doesn't matter. Let's say okay. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Doesn't it truly doesn't matter. Okay, so obviously we don't write anything to him. Just let him disconnect. Don't write anything to him. You don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Be right back. Okay, one sec. One sec. Okay, so first things first, right? We have to go straight from the bottom. Everything that AOC coach said to you, it's all shit. It's
No, by
meaningless.
the way, to be fair to him, I didn't do the strategy that he gave me, the build order. In fact, I just started doing random stuff. To be completely fair,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
um, so which is a problem. No, I know. But I just don't want to misrepresent him,
No,
in
yeah, I
that
mean it's
respect.
fine. It's fine. I mean, honestly, it's none of my business what you guys did. I'm just saying that you probably don't need any. Like that information is good when you get better. When you get better, all that he said is probably good for that
Yeah,
exact thing that he said. But at the moment, all that information for you is meaningless. Okay, so
yeah,
we are going this is going to be like I said to that guy. We are gonna go straight from the beginning, right? Like straight up from the beginning, like straight from the basic. I just bought the game. I'm just gonna start playing. Okay? Does
okay,
that sound okay for you?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so okay, first thing is first. We are like you're gonna drill the Dark Age. Like you're just gonna drill it. I mean, I understand you play the Zero Empires mod, but I understand you're probably like playing worse because you're talking to me and all that shit, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
honestly, we're just gonna drill the fast castle build on arena as well. First option. You can do the fast castle how many pop did you do the fast castle when you did it on the Zero Empires
Uh,
mod?
I think I want to say that it was a 26 pop. Does that sound right?
Well, I mean there are 25
So
to
so
28.
so yeah. So the fast imp I would do at 30,
Okay.
and then the fast castle I would do about 25 to 26, and then
Okay.
with the scout rush build he just gave me, that's like 21. Does
Yeah,
that sound
yeah,
about right?
yeah. Okay, so first of all, the 25 cancel, the fast cancel 25 plus 2 is advanced strategy that is used only by people who know it, even some 2K, even I sometimes mess it up, right? Like, I mean, I can do it
Okay.
properly in a good time, but I mean, I need to use the market sometimes for it, okay? So you are
Yeah.
not gonna do that, okay? So
Okay.
you're gonna do the 28 plus 2, okay? So 28 plus 2 fast cast. So it's gonna be 27 villagers plus scout, 2 villagers in feudal, and then click up, okay? That is
Mm.
the most basic, like the most basic build order in the game, okay?
Mm.
It is
You know what?
also
This is interesting too, because what you're giving me is a concept where it's like for beginners, maybe the thing that would give them the most success early on. Is that what you're kind of getting at?
no, no. Most success you would probably get for I don't know, just towering your opponent because like the thing with the fast castle is it consists of Dark Age, right? It
Mm-hmm.
consists of Feudal Age, right? And then you get to Castle Age. Castle Age is so the third age in the game. It's not the last one, but it's pretty much the most important one. Okay. Castle Age is the most important, like
Interesting.
the biggest influence age in my opinion, because
So games are won and lost in the castle age, is
no,
what you're
no,
saying.
I'm not saying games are won and lost in the Castle Age.
Oh, okay, okay.
What I'm saying is that like if we could look at the influence of how much you can do, like how much is accessible to you in every age, Castle Age would be the most influential because even in Imperial Age, okay, you get more tax, more units and whatnot, okay. you get all the upgrades, you just like go to the Imperial, to the last age, right? But without a good castle age, you're not gonna get to that Imperial age, right? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because
Yeah.
uh, it's hard to explain. I'm just saying that like the fast castle build, it consists of everything, like everything that you need for every other strategy. Like pretty much every other strategy is somehow based on the fast castle. Okay, you know.
Interesting.
No, like you could argue that maybe Fast Castle is based on something else, but like Fast Castle consists of, doing the 4 villagers on wood, doing the 6 on sheep, doing all that. I mean, almost all of them do. The reason why Fast Castle is the best to practice with also is because it is very easy to track how consistent you can do it, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, let's say good time is like okay for you. Let's say good time is 16 minutes 30 seconds, right? So 16 minutes 30 seconds, for example, is an okayish time. Like
Wait,
first,
wait. Isn't 16 minutes like a great time?
well, a great time is 15 minutes with like 25 plus
Okay.
2. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Okay.
But like,
So like to give you an idea, when I was doing like fast castle type of stuff, I was getting to that like 18 mark basically consistently.
18 mark.
And
Okay, okay. So
yeah,
you
which is not good enough. I know that,
no,
right?
yeah,
Like
and what we are going to do, we're going to go step by step, right? To get you,
hmm
let's say, to 17-minute mark. Okay,
hmm
so let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Let's,
yeah.
go to the 17-minute. Okay, so the 17-minute is gonna be what we will be trying to achieve. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
So.
by the way, let me say this too. The one last thing is just that with the when I say 18-minute castle time, that would be like in game type of scenario. The problem with the mod that Zero Empires made is
Mm-hmm.
you could memorize where all the sheep and boar were,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
would get like a 17, even I think I got like a 16 castle time there. But the problem is then I would go to try to execute in the game, and my real castle time was still just about 18 minutes, basically. If that makes
Okay, okay,
sense.
yeah, okay. So, like, you could argue that I am giving you the main stuff that AOC coach was giving, just a build order, and then you have no idea why you're doing that, right? So, let me
Yeah.
just explain so you understand. The reason why I want you to do that, you know, I want you to be comfortable, to be like doing the fast castle is like riding a bike for you. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
so for example, like, I don't know, like, you just wake up, you just, do your stuff. You want to play some Age of Empire, you just wake up, you start doing it, and like the first game, you already get a good time. It's all good. It's all in your head. It's all ready. You
Oh,
know,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
you can
Yeah.
because what that allows you to do, right? What that
hmm
allows you to do when you can do the fast castle, like in background even, like just not stressing, doing everything sort of okay. I'm not saying everything perfect, but like decent. Let's say
Like in your
decent.
sleep, basically. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah, exactly.
subconscious. You
Yeah,
want it to be subconscious,
yeah,
basically.
because what that allows us to do, it allows us to jump huge, huge, huge leaps towards improving everything else. Because, like for example, balancing your eco and attacking, right? So imagine if we would learn balancing your eco first and attacking second, or we
hmm
would learn balancing your eco and attacking at the same time in the same game, right? Right.
hmm
What would happen, and I know this because I've seen it happen there's one guy who coaches as well, and you know what will happen? You have tons of idle time. Your army will not be efficient. Your eco will not be efficient. You will
Exactly.
you will not improve on any. You will just be in the middle ground, right? Just
Yeah,
in
of
the middle
course.
ground.
Yep.
Okay, so okay, so yeah, like that is the main thing what I'm trying to say to you. It might be like hard to understand, but just ask any
No,
questions
no,
if
it makes
you
sense. It
want.
makes sense.
Yeah, because like when we learn how to do this, then we can go forward. We can start doing something more complicated. Start practicing the attack and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
think, but by the time we start to do this, I might have actually somewhat finished the maps for the learning how to micro, attacking and
Hmm.
all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, like this is like what I'm trying to say, and like I mean, I actually think that it is the best way. You know, it
Hmm.
is the best way. Just like learning one thing and then learning the other. I also think it's the fastest and it's the most simplest because I don't give you too much information for you to process, for you to swallow, for you to understand why. Because, for example, if I would be giving you everything at the same time, you would get confused, right? You know?
Well, that's what's kind of happening now is that I'm just last week I was trying to learn how to drush. The week before that I was doing fast castle. Now 2 days ago the guy told me to do a scout rush, and a month ago I was doing the Turk fast imp. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm all over the place. And when I went to go play that game in the arena, I was like, oh man, like what am I doing now?
Yeah,
And it
yeah,
it
yeah,
once again because it's not subconscious in me yet.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not automatic. Which I think once again is a sign of a true skill, basically.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So,
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. One guy in my stream actually said a good tip. On a serious note, make him play on explored map against AI. That's probably actually quite a good tip. Starting out just playing on explored, you know what I mean? So you can check all your resources.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's actually a good tip. I honestly didn't really think of that. That's a really good tip.
Let me ask you this question though, because we're talking about learning with AOC and everything, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How did you learn the game?
How did I? Okay, I actually wanted to bring this up. I learned
Yeah.
the game. I was like 13 years old, right? And I
Okay.
was like a little. I didn't understand shit, right? And there was
Okay.
one game, like I don't know, 4 hours in game, like 4 or 5 hours in game, and at at this standard, it was I don't know, probably around 15x HD level, something like that. I mean, HD wasn't even back, and then it was Game Ranger where I played on,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And what happened? What happened was there was like we won, and I kind of had a good boom. Like first time in ever in the history of my gameplay, I had a good game, right? You know,
Yeah.
and what happened was like there was this guy and he pretty much just told me the 28 plus 2 build order, and I did the 28 plus 2 build order until I don't know today's 17x HD. That was pretty much the only thing I did, right?
Hmm.
Like I'm not trying to drop the my way of learning for you because I honestly didn't have anybody to teach me the basic fundamentals. He just showed me one game. I mean, I didn't have
Yeah.
anybody, right? Like you know,
But I
and
guess the question is, did you learn the game and get to the level you are really from like the age of 13 based upon just playing hundreds of games at the
no,
end of the day?
no, like I took big breaks. The main climb started at around May. I was like 17x HD. I hadn't played for like half a year, even lower. I was like 16, 90, something like that, right? And then I just started playing, okay? I got smacked around so hard, right? I barely got to 18x, right? People were just stomping me because I was bad, okay? And then I just like um, there was this one guy who just randomly added me, and and he just like helped me out a bit, and then I got on my feet, blah blah blah, and then I just started then I started playing more and more and more, and then I actually started to improve,
But
but
you're saying that you've improved a lot in the last year? Is that what you're saying?
well, it's not even year, it's I mean like more than half a year, yeah.
Oh my God. So what you're saying is you went from 1700 to like 2200 on HD in the past like 6 months or so.
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's inspirational, actually.
Well, honestly, it is like probably you can do it faster if you have the guidelines, you know.
Okay.
You know, and like that is why I'm trying to like teach you the way, so you're not like me who just went blind, you
And
know.
wasted time, basically. Like you could
Yeah,
be
yeah,
like a
yeah.
top
Because I was
player.
a little kid, you know. I like
No, of course.
14 years, 13 years, even 15 years. Who cares? You just play for fun, right?
No. Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
And now I'm like 19 and I'm starting to understand how things work, how things are supposed to work, how it all happens, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
even Wondrous is saying I was like 70 nicks around summer. So I started at May, and in summer I was like 70 nicks. At the end of summer I was like 90 nicks, and in October I just spiked up to like 2.2k.
Well, it's a very possible too that through your maturity and your like learning and different things and coming back to the game that you're just something clicked in your mind
Yeah,
too as
yeah,
well.
it did, and like that, it did because I pick games up faster than anybody else that I know, except like one
Yeah.
guy. Like one friend actually picks the game up at the same pace as me, you know.
Okay.
So like this is why I'm like this is what I'm trying to like. That is why the teaching that I'm doing, it's a little more like it involves more work,
Hmm.
than actual reward, than actual pleasure. And that is
No, of
why a
course.
lot of
Yeah.
people think that it's wrong. Because like a lot of people think that they're gonna talk with me for 40 minutes and then they're gonna be 2K HD, right? I
Yeah,
mean, like,
exactly.
not, you know what I mean. You know what I
No, but
mean.
see, the thing is, for me, if that was the case, then it wouldn't even be worthwhile,
No,
because
yeah,
it's like,
I
yeah,
mean,
because
obviously,
like the
talk,
game,
talk,
the
talk.
reason why I'm intrigued by the game is because it's so difficult, essentially, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not looking for any quick fix or anything. Once again, it's like the thought process and stuff. And I think what I just showed, even myself there, where you threw me in the arena and I'm
Mm-hmm,
talking and
mm-hmm.
stuff, and I played like a complete fish. That's what we call somebody in chess is like bad,
I
like a
know what a
fish.
fish is. I know what a
Yeah,
fish is.
yeah, yeah. So like, but that
Yeah.
shows how weak I still am, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, all right. Well, is there anything else you want to do or talk about?
Well, I mean, if you have time, we can still talk because I actually want to show
Yeah.
you how we will actually start practicing the fast cast. So I'm just like trying to explain to you. I'm just
No, of
trying to
course.
like make you understand why we're doing it. We're gonna do
Oh no.
that, and then we're just gonna slowly build up. So you're not the guy who's 18x and doesn't know how to do anything, right? You
Yeah.
want to be the guy who's 17x and who just smacking bitches around like it's 1999. You know what I mean? That is what is the main goal of me. Okay, so let's go out of this game. Okay, okay. So I could show you a video, but let's just I'd rather show you in game. Okay. So when you practice the fast castle, the reason why we are going to be practicing it on HD, like the main reason why we're going to be practicing it on HD, is I mean on arena. Fuck, I'm sorry, my bad. In arena is because it's easier, right?
Yeah,
And
because you don't get attacked, right?
yeah, and it's not because we want to go the easy way. We as I said, we want to go the fast and the efficient way. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
just want to learn like how to do a fast castle without being touched, right? I mean, obviously in
Yeah.
Arabia 1v1 you're not going to do a fast castle, but everything you do kind of involves the part of the fast castle. Okay, let's put some random AI. Okay, I'm just gonna go like random. Who cares? Just put spectator, and let's go.
Okay.
I'm just gonna keep it on normal speed. Last time I did it on fast, but it's really hard to talk when I'm doing it on fast. Okay, give me one sec. Need to get comfortable. So like now I'm just gonna like talk and I'm just gonna like tell you like I mean honestly this is not gonna like you're not gonna understand everything, but just like I'm just gonna like go over the basic things. Okay, so first things first, right? Two houses, like you did. Okay?
Yeah.
That is fine. You kill four villagers, you use the scout, you usually want to use the second villager. I understand you're still lacking the speed, I already saw that, which is fine.
Yeah.
The speed will come, in just practice, you know what I mean? Uh, okay, so we find a sheep. You know, obviously everything just gets bring back, and we're all good. I'm not even gonna go over complicated things like pushing deer because you just don't need that. You know.
No, I can't do it. I've
Yeah,
tried
yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. And when you go for the 25 plus 2 or something like that, you know, the the reason like you can do it so efficiently is because you were deer. Without wearing deer, it's pretty much not possible, okay? Like the deer is just essential for, you know, these fast castles. So we have 7 pop, right? The next villager will go on wood. 7 pop. So 6 villagers, 1 scout, next one goes on wood, okay? This
Yeah.
is like the main thing that we're gonna do and that you're gonna try to memorize. I mean, you can like
No,
rewatch.
to be fair, I knew that already too. You know, like and I didn't even do it properly when we were talking.
Yeah, yeah. Like I kind of yeah. You said you knew it and then you just kind of forgot it and then kind of confused me a bit. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay. You just like pretty much like you can rewatch the recording or whatever. I mean, it's all
Yeah.
up to you.
Yeah.
There are tons of videos as well on YouTube about the fast
No, of
castle.
course. I've played like 400 hours in the past 3 months. I never played an RTS before in my life,
I see. I see.
and I played like 400 hours, and I've watched like tons of videos. You know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so the main thing, like the very, like the first thing you want to do when you start to play, is try to keep your TC not idle. You know,
Yeah.
idle TC is bad TC. You know,
Yeah.
and if you find yourself having an idle TC, like in arena maybe it doesn't matter, but for you it will matter because you are in a level that you are. When you find your TC idle and you know you're not gonna have the food any second, you can just get wool, okay? Like for
Yeah.
example, now I have my TC idle, I'm just gonna get wool. Okay, so we're gonna ward the boar, but okay, it's gods, it just died. Okay, so what we have now, we have the 6 from sheep on boar, we have 4 on wood, we have +1 on boar, the guy who ward boar, okay? So we have 7 on food and 4 on wood, right? So the next villager is he's just gonna go. I mean, the next villager that comes out, he's gonna build a house and then he's gonna build a mill. Okay, so that is like just what that guy's gonna do. Okay, my second boar is there. Okay, so warring boar. You wanna war your second boar when your first boar is around 180 food. Around is that, like 180 to like 160. Really depends on the distance, which you will learn, you know, with experience. You know, I mean that thing really like, for example, you can just war it every time it's on 180. You know, like those little things you don't need to learn because you don't need that information that you can that you cannot like swallow and you know like cycle through your head. Okay, so the second boar is coming in. You see the first boar is done as the second one comes
Yeah.
in. You know, so we have 5 on berries, we have 7 on food, and we have 17 pop at the moment. So the next one that comes out goes and builds a house. Okay, so for example, let's say you ward 2 boars, right? You have 2 villagers that are like, you know, injured. With those 2 villagers that are injured, you're gonna build 2 farms. The reason why we use the injured villagers is because we oh fuck, I messed up. Wow, that's what you get if you talk. We want to keep them safe near the TC. Okay,
Yeah.
so the 19th pop will is gonna build another farm. So at the moment you have you see like 100 food, and when you hit the 19 pop mark, the next villager is gonna go and build a second one more camp. Okay, so
Yeah.
at the moment we have what? We have 7 on board, we have 3 farms, 5 on berries, and we have you know already 2 on wood and 4 on the first wood. Okay, so resource-wise, this is pretty much same stuff, you know. Okay, so you see the board is done, then you just go back to the sheep. Okay, so the like how you want to build houses to not get housed like ever when you just have your TC. Uh, you want to do it like I'm doing it now. So like the villager that will bring you 2 pop below the maximum you want to build the house with. So we have like 13 from 15, we have 33 from 25, you know, all those you want to get on houses. Okay? Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
we're gonna walk over it when I hit the Castle Age market again. Okay, so now we're gonna bring 3 on gold. You can bring either 3 or 4. We're gonna bring 3 this time because we don't need like the gold for knights and stuff. Okay, so we have 26 pop right now. Okay, at this point, if you have extra wood, you can just, you know, place more farms. Okay, so the last villager is in making. At this moment, you can just place more farms, but don't get more than like, how much do I have? I have like 6. Don't get more like 6 to 7 farms. So when you click going up to the castle age, when you reach the feudal age, you can get the 2 buildings that require around 300 wood, you know?
Yeah.
So that is all good. Okay, so let's pause now. Okay, so oh fuck, I can't move when I'm paused. Oh my god, how dumb is that? Fuck.
Yeah. I noticed that the other day.
Okay, I just wanted to say. Okay, so we have what? We have 4 wood. We have 4 on the second wood. We have 5 on berries, 3 on gold, and the rest on food. You know, I mean, we're still eating
You
the
said
shit.
this was a. Did you say this was a 28 plus 2?
Yeah, yeah. You see, it's 28 pop. We go up.
Okay, then we do 2 in the feudal age.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. I hope I'm gonna be able to quick the castle age. Okay. So you see, like I'm just making more farms, you know, just because I have the like extra wood, you know. Like for example, I'm gonna have the wood I need to actually like you know quick up to the age. Like the reason you know like you have more or less resources will come in later because of the villager micro. Like check the down wood. Do you see the down wood? The
Downwood. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So do you see the villager female? Do you see which wood she's taken? Do you see that?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
like that is an example of a bad micro wood, and this would be an example of a good micro wood.
Interesting.
You know, because closer, less distance, thus you know faster speed. So we go up, we build the market, we build the blacksmith. The villagers that come out usually can just go to wood. Okay, so do you see my resources already?
Yeah. You're already ready to click.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a safe build, so it's good for newer players because there is more room for error. You know, you see, like
Yeah.
I quick up around 40 next minutes. Okay, so I have 30 pop now. You know, you just like build houses and whatnot. Okay, so
And you did that while talking too, man. You
yeah,
just did like
because
a
it
six.
just comes naturally.
Yeah.
I could have also pushed the deer while doing all that, you know, because my scouts. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously,
So
I
you
would
could
want to
definitely get
scout.
a 15-minute castle then,
The
right? Like a
fastest
15.
castle I've gotten with the standard civ is 1400 something around that. It was like
Wow.
1403 or something like that.
Doesn't that just give you a decisive edge though in competition, right? Like it's like, so let me ask you this question. I've done these castle drills like, tons of times.
Hmm.
Should a new player just expect that it takes time to be able to like, to get the time down basically?
Well, yeah, because like for example, first thing that you want to do, like as well, you want to take it by steps. You want to learn how to not idle your TC because your time is slower because you idle your TC. Okay, so the
Hmm.
main thing is not idling your TC, like the first thing, right? Second thing
Okay.
is not having idle villagers. For example, you build a house and the villager just standing there for like 10 seconds, okay? You know, that's idle time. That, you know, like those
Yep.
little things add up and then the time goes down, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So at the moment, I forgot that because I'm talking. So you click the feudal. You wanna click the lumber camp. You wanna get the upgrade. You wanna click the mill, and you wanna get the upgrade. You know, the economical upgrades.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so the things that you do now, I mean, obviously it really depends on situation, and we are not yet gonna go into that because you need to start from the bottom, you know. So at the moment, like, okay, so let's recap. We have 4 on wood, we have, well, tons on the second wood because, as I said, like the 2 villagers came out, you know, like these little things as well. Like there's no exact like or number, you know. I could have 6 on wood, I could have 7 on wood, you know, because after you finish your sheep, after you finish your berries, you have a lot of villagers that just need to be put on work, you know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
and usually you just want to like split them, you know, sort of evenly, just, you know, place some on wood, build more farms, you know, so your eco is like sort of in balance. As well, those things, it, as well, those things will come later, and they will come from experience, and they will come, you know, from practice. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so like for example, okay, so like you can rewatch this recording. I mean, the castle age in this game was pretty much basic. It's pretty much what you're gonna see everywhere. Sometimes you see it they go on wood faster. Sometimes you see they go on wood 1 villager later. You know, those things again don't matter because the time will be the same and the eco will be the same if you do everything correctly.
You there?
What?
Oh, I just thought I lost you for a second.
No, do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yep.
Okay. So I had like 16 something time, right? I forgot to time it.
Yeah.
So it was like 16 something time, right? For you, the
Yeah.
first milestone is going to be 17 minutes, right? It's going to be 17 minutes. You get to castle age. You know, okay. If you do over 18, then the first milestone is going to be 80. Okay, the first
Right.
milestone is going to be 18, and then we're just gonna reduce the time more and more and more until you can do the castle age with like one eye closed. Okay, because
Yeah.
like I understand like this is how you improve, not you
Should
know.
I not even play games until I'm like mastering these times? Is that
Well, then it really depends. If you want to have fun, you know, go play team games with your friends, you know, fuck around. If you want to, like, improve, like, you can do both. You can, you know, fuck around, play games, and also, of course, try to do the fast castle build, right? Or you
yeah,
can
yeah.
just simply, like, the fastest way would be to practice versus AI, as I just did, because
Yeah.
in game 18 minutes it's like real life around 10 minutes, so you can do a lot of fast castles in a short window of time. Okay,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, okay, so second thing, do you have a second monitor?
No, I don't. Oh no,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah, yeah, I do. Yeah.
okay, so you do. Okay, so another thing that I can advise you to do, you can pretty much write down the build order, or I can write it down for you in Steam, and you can just like copy paste it, you know, and you can put it in like a paint or text document or whatever. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
okay, and
Well, you
you,
know, just to save you some time, I could just rewatch this video on YouTube and then write down the build order too.
yeah, that also works. I mean, whatever helps you, but like the main idea what I'm trying to give, you can have the build order on like your second monitor, right? So it's easier for you to
Oh,
follow
okay.
it.
Do
Because
you still do things like that? Do things like that or no?
I used to, even like few months ago, I used to do that. Yeah, like,
Wow, that's very interesting.
well, yeah, because when I started learning Drush Fast Castle, right? I
Yeah.
didn't know how to do it. And like now I don't have the second monitor on me, but because I'm not home. But when I'm home, I have the second monitor. And what usually happened, I had just had like the build order and the second monitor, right? And I was like, you know, watching and trying to memorize and trying to follow it. And now I don't need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I think like 3 months ago, I still used it. Yeah.
No, it's kind of like I don't know. You probably don't know American football, but like the quarterbacks they have plays
Yeah.
and they have to like they have the plays on their arms. Actually, they can look at them, and that's what I find. Just when I went to once again when I went to do that game,
Mm-hmm.
I tried to do something that I hadn't done in weeks,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that's where my mind got, discombobulated.
Yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah, like that's why like for example, there's like no downside of having the build order on the second monitor. You know what I mean? Like you can just
Yeah,
check
yeah.
out, and try to follow, and you can just like learn how to do it like step by step by step, because like obviously you don't need to pull like zero idle. You just like need to start doing it, start like getting better at it, you know what I mean? Because like the guy who I told to do like similar thing to this, he wrote to me, I don't know, like a few days ago. I haven't seen him online though, but he wrote that he's pulling good castle times already,
Hmm.
so like he wrote that he can pull a good like a good idea of a castle time,
What would you say, like for a player like me, what would you say would be a time period in which I could achieve a 15-minute castle time?
15-minute castle. Well,
Like with hard work, best possible outcome.
I don't know, probably few weeks tops, because if you can do the 28 plus, you can learn how to order the deer and you can do the 15-minute castle. But you don't need to do that. The reason why you don't need to do that is because you don't need that as a win condition. Okay? And the
Hmm.
reason why you don't need the win condition, like doing this, I mean, sure, if you want to be a pure arena player, then we have another thing. Like then, sure, the 25 plus 2, 26 plus 2 is gonna be the main thing that you're gonna do almost every game, right? And it is going to be like the main thing. Sure, then we have another thing, but for you, you don't need that, because like as I mentioned earlier, you don't have the knowledge yet to capitalize on the information, and like the power that the 25 plus 2 fast castle gives you. Do you know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like
Yeah,
like you can do it. There's just like like as a person that's trying to like help you, I'm saying that
yeah.
you don't need that. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So like yeah, you know what I mean.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, so like yeah, I mean this is like the drill, like the main drill that's like gonna be your task. Let's say it's gonna be your task for okay, let's say the deadline is gonna be 17:20. When you reach 17:20, okay, let's say 17:30, then we can like have another session, you know.
Okay.
If you have like any questions or anything, just feel free to ask me on stream, Steam, whatever. We can talk. It's no problem. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
Like yeah.
Do you have a schedule on your stream?
No, I don't have a schedule because I will like start working soon. I might start working and then the schedule will come up, because now I'm like all around the place, you know what I mean? Like I'm just
No, of
doing
course,
like
man.
a lot of stuff, And like these things, also it's really hard because a lot of people that like ask me for coaching, they are from like USA or whatnot. You're from USA as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, so and the time zone's really different and it's like really hard, to
No,
schedule
I
it
might
and
I might be one of the few guys that can do it because I'm right now I'm a stay-at-home dad. We got three kids and my wife's working and
yeah,
stuff.
no, I mean,
So
yeah, that's good, yeah. I mean, that's good. Like
um
so I mean, I'm, I kind of think that this is it for now, because like
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
you
no,
you just
it
need to
was great,
swallow
man.
the information and see like what is happening at the moment.
Of course, of course. Hey man, I really appreciate the help, brother.
Yeah, I
And
mean, no
do you
problem.
have a